Hello, my name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and today I'm interviewing Nomzamo Mbatha, who stars in Coming to America, the sequel. Thank you for talking to me.
Hi, Coco. You said that so perfectly. You're like, Nomzamo Mbatha. I'm like,
Well,
what?
because you know what it is? It's because I also have an African name. So people sometimes will say your name incorrectly. So I always try to honor that, you know.
Yes, thank
I
you.
hear it all the time. No, so let's get started. You play Mirembe, who is the royal groomer and becomes very close to Lavelle. Tell us about how you got the role.
I mean, I was in Abu Dhabi and I was shooting something with the United Nations. And from Abu Dhabi, I was supposed to fly straight home to South Africa to go and host the South African Music Awards, which I was co-hosting with other hosts on that coming Saturday. And I remember getting the call from my agent at the time, and he was like, "You can send a self-tape, but I think you want to be in the room for this." And I was like, I don't know. I'm tired of spending money flying back and forth for these auditions. It had been like 5 months of just like auditioning and coming really, really close to nabbing that one role. And so when I got the call and he was like, "Listen, it's for Coming to America, and this is the type of role that they want you for." I was like, "Well, fire the jet."
Right, this is a good idea.
No, and I canceled my flight from Abu Dhabi, drove from Abu Dhabi to Dubai. From Dubai, landed in LA, did my audition. When I was done with my audition, I went straight back to my apartment, grabbed my suitcases, and I was off to the airport again, flying out of LA.
Wow. Okay. So, and I wanted to ask you this because in a way, your story, in a way, is kind of built like the original Coming to America. And I've seen you have so much humility, even as, you speak about your accomplishments just now. I don't think the American audience really realize that when we're speaking to Nomzamo right now, like she's actually a very big deal in Africa. So she's not going to say it herself probably, but what is it like because of your accomplishments? I mean, you're also a UN Goodwill Ambassador and you do so much work about equality. And I've seen so many compassionate things that you take part in. What was it like to basically have to reintroduce yourself or really introduce yourself to an American audience in a different kind of way?
The great thing about me is that my feet are constantly on the ground. And starting afresh is never anything that takes away from my journey. It's never anything that takes away from who I am. So I've always loved the thrill of starting a new journey. So, and I knew, when I was moving, a lot of people back home who knew about my prospects of, thinking that, let me just try this Hollywood thing out. They would be like, "But Nomzamo, you're doing so well here. You have such a successful career. You're so, successful in South Africa. In fact, on the African continent. Why would you want to go and start from scratch?" And for me, it's also important to be able to, take that leap of faith and just really trust in the courage that you have. But it's so funny that you say that because Lola, who's a makeup artist to Leslie Jones, she would say it on set, and Lunel, and be like, "She's playing humble, y'all. Y'all
Right. But like you guys, she's not just someone who just this woman."
But I mean, it's just the joy of starting anew and honestly not allowing the accolades and the things that one has accomplished to either add to how I feel about myself and my journey, nor take from how I feel about myself and my journey. It doesn't shift the needle. The work still has to be done.
It's interesting that you say that because I always find that some of the nicest people that I know tend to have that sort of mindset that you do. They may have had many, many accomplishments and they could sort of lead with that. But you tend to find that people that do have a lot of success, it's because they've presented themselves in the way that you're so likable, you're so driven, and you deserve everything that you've gotten because of how you also obviously treat other people. So that's amazing. So it's fun to interview people like you because it's like it feels good to see you do good too,
Thank you. I appreciate that. I receive it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So I wanted to ask you, what was it like to work with Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall and really just an amazing cast of all these all-stars?
I mean, you're surrounded by Hollywood royalty. You're definitely going to have an out-of-body experience. You are going to feel like, whoa, am I even talented enough? Am I even worthy enough to even be here? But again, it's about trusting the journey and trusting the process. And for me, beyond just having the out of body experience, just because I'd never experienced a crew of that size. You know,
Yeah.
you have a cast and crew of about 250 people on set. You're shooting at the Tyler Perry Studios, and you are surrounded by these incredible people whose feet are so on the ground. You just sit back and you almost become a wallflower because you just watch how they pour into each other. You know, Tracy Morgan was so excited to finally be working with Eddie. You would think that they'd done a project before together, but they hadn't. But just watching how they pour into each other, like, man, I saw you at that show when I was in New York. Remember when I was in Chicago? You know what I mean? And I came backstage. Man, I'm so proud of you, you know? And you just sit back and you just watch how people are just pouring into each other. And you use that as just motivation that, you know, no matter how many years you've been in this business, no matter how much you've accomplished, to just continue to see the next person and pour into them. So it was amazing. And of course, very mischievous because there was music on set the whole time. Singing, dancing. I remember like Tracy and Leslie would always like to reenact and be like, and then they go low on the bass and then they do this. Laughing, Craig made fun of me like, oh, Nomzamo just sits there and watches these crazy Americans around her. You know, and then you witness an Eddie being a master of his craft, you know, revisiting characters that he played 33 years ago, you know, and transform from Prince Akeem to Clarence in the Barbershop, from Clarence in the Barbershop to Randy Watson on stage. How can you not learn from that? How can you not be enamored by that, you know? So an incredible experience. And obviously Jermaine, who's just one of the most wonderful people that I've ever encountered, was such a great, you know, comrade in this journey with me, because we would both be geeking out like, yo, is this our lives right now?
Oh, that's so cool. So, you know, I have to ask you this. I have to ask you, what did you think about the African accents?
I mean, they were lovely. Okay. I'm in America now. I can keep it, right?
That is so hilarious. And who are you spoke about Jermaine, but who was maybe your favorite person to work with, or is there anybody that you would just like to sort of speak about or honor as far as how they helped you on set, or just the kindness that they may have, you know, exhibited?
I think I experienced a lot of kindness, you know, Wesley Snipes just giving you affirmations, and Arsenio as well, saying, I like the way you delivered that line. Great job on that scene, you know. To a Sherry Headley, who I don't know how she saw, but I was going through imposter syndrome. You have to, when you've been praying for a dream to come to fruition for so long, and finally the moment arrives. She put her hands on my shoulders and she said, Nomzamo, I want you to know that you deserve to be here. You are worthy of the moment.
Wow.
Never
Oh, that.
And I was like, and it choked me up. Like I choked up and I started bawling on set. Because she just pulled me to the side and she held me here. She's like, I've been, and I don't want you to play small. Don't you ever do that. And I thought, oh my God. And I was like crying and I thought, thank you. And I remember just like something opening up, you know, as Ayanla's book says, one day my soul was opened up and I just felt just this light bulb come back, you know, and I truly then just walked in my own path as myself.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my God, I'm like over here like, it's so nice. So we're starting to see many more African actors in Hollywood. Does it feel like, and I know you do take on a lot of roles and you do a lot of things, so you're busier than most, but do you feel like there's an added responsibility or maybe like a level, because you're not only representing yourself, because this is a dream of yours that you're accomplishing, but you're also accomplishing and it's for South Africa. Does it feel heavier or weightier because of that?
It's twofold, you know. Outside of being a South African, I'm still a girl in the world, you know, that belongs to the African continent. And I see myself as a Pan-African, you know, especially after the work that I do with the UN. I think for me, it's important to be able to represent myself in the best light first, you know, before taking on the heavy burden of representing a people, you know. So it's about representing myself in the best way that I can. But also, it's not about, you know, becoming a face of the African continent or the face of South Africa. It's about becoming the face of a tangible dream. And that is it. That I
Mm-hmm.
want every single girl, whether she's from the projects in New York
Mm-hmm.
or the favelas in Brazil or Guamash, which is where I come from in Durban. I want every single girl around the world from every marginalized background or even not even a marginalized background or whatever it is that they come from to see me and see a tangible dream, a representation of a tangible dream.
Woo. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So what's next for you?
I'm about to go into production for a really, really exciting project that I'm going to be working with a very exciting director. His name is Jesse Atlas. It's a sci-fi thriller. Can't reveal a lot of details around it yet because, you know, the announcements are still going to be made. But I'm very excited for the film. You know, the film was birthed as a short film and it was a favorite at Sundance Film a couple of years ago. So now it's finally going to get a feature, and I'll be playing a lead role in that. So I'm very excited about it. And of course, constantly, you know, chatting to my agents about different projects that I'm very like nervous and crossing my fingers for. And I'm just, honestly, I'm just having fun and trying to take in each moment. And one thing that's really exciting is that my brand partnership with Puma, we have a very exciting announcement that we're going to be making very, very soon.
Oh, definitely looking forward to that. I thank you so much for your time. My name is Koku with blackfilm.com, and Coming to America debuts on Amazon Prime Friday, March 5th, and it has been such an honor to speak with you. Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, Nomzamo Mbatha.
Thank you, Coco.
Thank you. Thank you.